Good afternoon, Chevy Woods.
What up, man?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah.
A little hungover a little bit.
So I've been hearing, man. How you guys drink so much?
I mean, it just comes with the territory, I guess. You know what I mean? Being out, having fun, partying, just having a good time, and everybody getting back safe. You know, liquor comes with all that.
Yeah, we were talking off camera, just kind of like about wanting to know a bit about where you're from. So, for those who don't know, where exactly are you from?
I'm from a place called Hazelwood. It's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Small town. You know what I mean? Everybody knows everybody. Grew up playing sports. Got into the street life. Got into the music, and we're here today.
When we talk about the street life, the narrative always seems to be the same. What we see in the music, that maybe people are using means to find a way out through doing things that people may say is not legal or legitimate, but the environment, what causes those options to be seen as that's an avenue for people to be?
I mean, I think that it's like, well, where I'm from, you know what I mean? It's like I said, you know everybody. So where I'm from, like, you know, I got two brothers, you know what I mean? So they might have not seen me doing things out in the streets, but they also have access to see other people, you know, hustling and things of that nature. So it's like not hard to, I mean, it's like you're not going to miss it, you know what I mean? It's always going to be there. So it's kind of like on the person just to, if they want to entertain that or not. Now you got certain people that's their lifestyle and that's all they know. You know what I mean? And at one point that was my lifestyle and that's all I knew. Until I started doing other things and, you know, meeting other people and having conversation and being more open and, you know, with my story and with my music and things of that nature. So where we come from, it's just like you got an option, but, you know, like one of the things that's right there in your face is, you know, to get you some and sell it, because it seems so easy when you're looking at it from the outside looking in. But people that, you know, never got into that, they don't know what the trouble it brings also. So once you get into it, then you deal with a bunch of other problems that you never even thought, you know what I mean? Some people think it's just a breeze, that I'm gonna buy something, I'm gonna have the best, I'm gonna have the most clientele, I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna be Scarface, like those dreams and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's not reality.
What are the downsides of that lifestyle?
I mean, number one and number two is either jail or death.
Is it really, I mean, we always hear that.
It really is.
Really that real?
It's really that real. Like it's either you always maneuvering, trying to get away from the police or not be seen and things like that, or it's, you know, you got people that, you know, don't want to hustle, so they feel like if you hustling and they can be a robber and they can take it,
right, then
that ends up being, say somebody try to rob another dude and he just happened to have a gun on him, but the robber comes with a gun too, and he said, give me all of this, but he gets the shot off first. Now you got the robber dead and you got him going to jail, or either, you know, it's self-defense or, you know, things of that nature. So it's really like that for real where we're from.
And in that situation, no one wins and no one's going to go to the police and say, this is what happened.
Nope, it's just like that. That's why it's so, I mean, it's like being able to hustle is like kind of like, it's not detrimental to, you know, like doing music, but at the same time, being able to hustle for me was me being able to come over to music and use my hustle. You know what I mean? So I just start, you know, applying the things that I used to do, you know, on the street, and just, you know, now I'm the drug, so I just sell myself.
How did you actually get your first taste of actually being a recording artist?
I had this keyboard that I didn't really like use, and it was one of my homies, and he actually like went to jail for a long period of time. So it gave it to me, you know what I mean, and I ended up like turning it in at one of those like play it again type of music places that buy instruments and things like that, and keyboards and things, and got like $350 for it. Just called around the city, trying to find a place to record. Was the first start of it, you know what I mean, and then once I found a place to record, I just started, hustling to make music. And I started finding myself doing less of being in the streets and doing more of, hustling in the street and making bigger moves just to record, you know what I mean? So my mind started getting into being an artist, from that time when I first turned the keyboard in.
Is that the narrative about music almost saving your life?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, for me, I still have, the same few friends that I've, been friends with for a long time. And then, when I go places, I make friends different places, that I never thought that I would. So it's kind of like being away from all of that stuff in the streets kind of like prepared me like mentally to just jump in this business, and knowing what I know and watching Wiz as a, just it being an open book for me to see, kind of like know what to do and how to move now.
Now, virally, you got like a huge following yourself. How did that build up? Because obviously you've got your own music, you've done a lot of projects, but you said like over like 300,000 on this Instagram. Like, how does that take off for you?
I just think that people are interested in, like, I don't want to say like my lifestyle is cool, you know what I mean? But people are interested in things like that, and they really want to know. And when you're not too far away from them for them to be in touch with you, that's when they start following and wanting to see and telling their friends, and you should go check out this, and because they want to see the you, like the real you, because people take their Instagrams personally. You know what I mean? Like, they'll tell you, like, well, I'll tell people, like, I'm not fitting to post that on my Instagram, but I'll put it up for you on Twitter. You know what I mean? Just like things like that, because Instagram is more personal. So I think that's why people are attracted to Instagram, because it's more, the artist or whoever it may be, is their lifestyle through like pictures and video.
Am I correct? Was it your daughter's birthday recently?
Yeah.
Because I saw that on Instagram. How difficult is that part of life where you're away from the real moments?
Man, it's crazy. Like, I mean, we FaceTime, we talk, and all that, and I took care of everything, for her to be able to do whatever she wanted to do on her birthday. But of course, not being there is like, she understands that I have to work, but she's a girl, you know what I'm saying? She's a daddy's girl, so she's gonna be like, I know you gotta work, but she's still like sad, you know what I mean, that I'm not there. And just having to deal with that is like, it's not hard because it comes with what I do. Like, I chose this, you know what I mean? So it's not hard, but it does get to you, like, at certain points when you miss like certain things. Like, I may have missed maybe 2, this might be the second or third one on her birthday.
Wow.
So it's like just not being there and not like having cake and ice cream and things like that. It's just not the same when you get back and be like, yo, I want to go get a cake for you now. You know what I mean? So I just try to just set it up so she's just cool while I'm gone.
Now, when you go home, what's the reception like? Because you guys must be like some of the most known faces in the town and the city. So how is it like when you go back home?
It's cool. It's fun for me. You know what I mean? I'm usually around Wiz when he's back home and we're recording. We don't really be like out too much.
Oh, so you record in the city? Yeah.
So we were like, we're always in the studio for hours. You know what I mean? Or I'm either with my daughter or I'm doing something else. You know what I mean? So it's like being out and about. You really see it when you're gone for a while, and then you come back and then you go to like some of the same clubs and little spots or bars or sports bars, and the waitresses and waiters or whatever, like, oh man, what's up? I ain't seen you in a minute. Oh, but I seen the video, man. I've been watching what you're doing. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's cool to hear people talk about it. You know what I mean? It's good, like, it's good conversation.
Now, ask you this though: is there ever a sense of entitlement when someone thinks you could just put me on straight away because you're with Wiz, or sometimes people don't understand that they can't just give you a demo and then Wiz is gonna sign them to Taylor Gang?
Right. I would never. That would never work with me, because that's not how I got here. You know what I mean? There's got to be some work being done. You know what I mean? Like I said, people do fly by night, but it's not going to just drop in your hand like in a demo, because we're not listening to every single demo. You know what I mean? So it's more of like internet. The internet will tell you who's what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, when I find new songs and it's like an artist that Nate probably never heard of, or Wiz probably never heard of. And it's the same thing with everybody else. We find music on the internet. We find different artists on the internet that we like that nobody really knows about. Like, I got stuff that I play on my phone that, when I go home, I probably won't hear it for like another 4 or 5 months later. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you can tell who's doing the research and who's checking for what. So for me, it's just like going on the internet and, being on the internet and checking things out.
So let's talk about nearly the tail end of the year. Hopefully you're going to be dropping another project.
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be any difference between the projects that you dropped this year with the one that you're going to drop near the tail end of the year?
Yeah, because I'm more in tune with the music and creating it, and actually not just going in there rapping and putting a 16 or a 12 with a hook and then jumping out of the studio. And then the content behind it, you know what I mean? Everything has to be content driven for me now. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that. Like, I have a lot of things that I could talk about, a lot of topics that I could talk about, you know what I mean? So I just feel like, why not talk about those topics instead of every song trying to just give people bars? What about the message? You know what I mean?
Do you think it'll get more deeper, more introspective?
Yeah, for sure. Just because of, like, I'm not going back to like what I've been through anymore. Like, I'm not talking like about that, too much anymore. It's more like what's going on now, you know what I mean? And what you can do from that lifestyle, and being in this lifestyle now, I already had that period where I talked about me hustling and me, being in the streets and, all of that stuff. So now I'm at a point where it's just like, I want to talk about like relationship stuff, talk about girls, talking about, money, businesses, then just like different other things instead of just like, yeah, I got the cocaine and then like, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like through with that type of shit.
How difficult is it to maintain relationships? If you got a girlfriend and wherever and then you're traveling, how does that whole natural balance of life work?
I mean, you gotta have somebody that understands it. You know what I mean? And what I mean by understand it, like, you can have a girlfriend and, she totally is saying that she's down for whatever it is, but she really doesn't understand it until she's in it. You know what I mean? So for me, me and my lady, we had to go through a lot for it to even be like that. You know what I mean? So now I'm just, she understands it, and she got it a long time ago. That's what was good. She knew that, this is what I wanted to do and this is what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Regardless if she was around or if anybody else or if nobody's around, you know what I mean? I'm still gonna do my music and be traveling and not be there. And, it just happens to be, I'm in a relationship, so the communication kind of has to be there before and after.